Boy, I haven't gone to bed yet, right? I've been looking at stuff to do with this 529 date for Madonna, today's date. And what was nagging at me was the end of the bit that always nags at me to do with Madonna. And I was talking about in the last video about where Marty crosses the Golden Gate Bridge as Clint Eastwood, and we have this 531 reference with Clint Eastwood. And I was telling you about the other 531 references. Something was nagging at me, so I wanted to check when the Golden Gate Bridge was opened. But before we get onto the Golden Gate Bridge and the 88, when this baby hits 88, you're going to see some serious shit. I want to just show you something that I've noticed here, which is absolutely mental. Okay, because what happens in that scene is that the DeLorean gets smashed up. So we've had the 131 train that goes over the cliff and is destroyed. Yeah, Madonna equals, if you look at the gematria, 6226 train and Madonna match up. Okay, pretty good in the gematria. So we had the steam train that goes over the cliff and is destroyed. 131 days from Madonna's birthday takes you to Christmas. Okay, so I've said a lot of times Madonna's that steam train, right? But it doesn't end there, because when Marty comes through over the Golden Gate Bridge, which just happens to be 88 years and 2 days old now, but I'm going to show you something that's very, very interesting that takes us back a day and connects in a little bit better. So we've got the 88. You're going to see some serious shit when this baby hits 88, because Marty comes across the Golden Gate Bridge. That's the 88. And then what happens is we have another Madonna reference, and the reference is when the DeLorean gets smashed up. The locomotives that smash up the DeLorean. If you watch the film Who's That Girl with Madonna, she does this crazy joyride in front of that same kind of locomotive in that film. So I firmly believe that this portion of I'm going to show you in just a second, but this portion of number 3 is referencing back to Madonna pretty heavily. Okay, but let me show you the mental thing first. This number plate, the license plate that is spinning around after the DeLorean gets smashed up. Okay, let's go to a better picture of it. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to look at the numbers on here. Okay, because I recalled, I was like, I gotta check the number plate, because I know there's a 66 on that, and Madonna is 66 years old this year. Now, what is fascinating is we have 66931 here. Okay, let me show you something. Madonna's birthday through to 529, today's date, 66 years, 9 months, 13 days. 66 years, 9 months, 13 days. 66 years, 9 months, 13 days. Jeez, that's pretty mental. That is absolutely flipping crazy. Yeah, let me go back to this. This references in Who's That Girl? We see the same locomotive, and Madonna's in a Rolls Royce and goes flying across in front of the train, in front of the locomotive here. Well, not this one, but the one in Who's That Girl? Now, what's interesting is Marty's going to have to avoid a Rolls Royce. He's going to have to avoid that Rolls Royce later on towards the end of the film here. Absolutely crazy. I'll tell you what else is crazy. Let me show you this with the Golden Gate Bridge. Because the Golden Gate Bridge was opened on May the 27th, okay, 1937, but it was only open to foot traffic, pedestrians. They didn't open it for vehicles or automobiles until the 28th, yeah, the following day. Now, what this does is that when we look at that date, 5/28/37 through to 5/28. Now, remember what I was saying in that last video. Remember, at the start of Back to the Future, Marty is late. Yeah, he's late, and the amplifier, the amp, gets blown up. The big speaker gets blown up, and the clocks are all set 25 minutes off. It should be 8 o'clock, but I guess it's 8:25. Yeah. What that means is we have that 8:25 referenced right here. Okay. 8:25 is referenced right here. 88 miles an hour. When this baby hits 88, and Marty hits the 88, which is the Golden Gate Bridge, yeah, in this scene, he's hits the Golden Gate Bridge right here and comes across it. Okay, right, Eastwood Ravine, 5:31, yeah, 5:28. And moments later, the DeLorean is going to be smashed up. But let's just look at this for 1 second, because I don't know, maybe she's not already dead, is she? But 5:28. Okay, let's click on to the following day. The one is born. Okay, 88 years, 1 day. The one is born. Look at this, 5:28 through to 5:29. 5:28. When this baby hits 88, you're going to see some serious shit. The one is born. Marty is reborn at this point. Oh man, that fits in. It fits in very nicely. The whole that's a pretty good. Everything there's tying together very, very nicely with Madonna and all the numbers, and this has actually turned out to be like I was only just started looking at this earlier on tonight, so just before, literally just probably about a couple of hours maybe before the 29th. I don't know, and of course today's date is palindropic as well with the 52922. Is it palindropic? No, it isn't palindropic because we've got an extra. Well, if you just use the 25 on the end, so 52925. Okay, quite interesting. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Absolutely mental, really. And look at this, 321, and then the 44. Again, that's a reset number in the middle of the Queen's Cross that I show you, that chart. Okay, I'm leaving it there. Okay, I don't want to make this too long. The number plate, man, is just crazy. 66 years, 9 months, 13 days. Oh, I'll tell you what. Anyway, alright. Thanks for watching. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.